Now, is it okay to sharpen your blade at some point when you're going through this process? Because at some point we're going to lose enough edge that we're like, I'm trying to record. Thank you.
So with that, we never recommend sharpening because again, that's going to take the temper out. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to sharpen. You put heat to the blade, it takes the temper out. That's anybody's blade. You know, the more heat we put to it, the more temper we're taking out. We're changing that metallurgy in that blade by adding heat to it. The best thing to do would be to flip if you have that opportunity available, if the blade isn't wore out that much, or replace. Those are your best two options, and that is so that you keep that optimum sharpness and you get a good clean cut on your product.
Right. So I asked that question as kind of a loaded question because I'm pretty sure I knew the answer. So folks, that's the difference. When you have that good rolled shape there that you're gonna use as a cutting edge, you don't want to heat that up and lose your temper, because otherwise you're back to
Exactly.
a very similar situation where you're just going to have a blade that's going to wear faster at that point.
Exactly. And something else what we'd like to touch on while you got you, I get asked this everywhere I go. When should I change? How many acres and when should I flip? When should I change? And I have gone through enough testing. Don't look at the blade. Look at the product you're cutting. We need to get out of the cab, get down there and look. Check the stems on what you're cutting. Because what we want to do is want to see a razor sharp cut. We want a nice clean cut. We want that plant to still be a whole plant that's left. And if we see fraying, if we see splitting and things like that, your regrowth is going to be slower because that plant's going to have to heal before it gets to come back. So that's going to be time to change, time to flip is when we're not getting a good cut and we're ripping.
Yeah. So and I'm going to throw out another curveball that we didn't discuss earlier, but I work in the sorghum business. And so alfalfa is one thing. And we have, the ability to regrow from the crown. The buds are going to take off. So if we get a little bit of it's not as clean on that stem, we still have a lot of growing points that are going to take off. I'm gonna say this lightly. We don't dam it as much as we can on like a sorghum stem that's larger. And when we hit it, it has a tendency to maybe shatter more. Well, again, by having a sharper blade, better edge, it's going to give us a better regrowth potential, because if we shatter that too much, we get fusarium stalk rots in there and just open it up for anthracnose and all this other stuff.
Right.
Do you have any experience with that, or can you comment on like a sorghum crop, a little bigger stem?
So we didn't do a ton of testing in that area, so I can't give you an exact like I can with the alfalfa.
Right.
But we did find with a lot of those thicker stems, even hemp that we found that doesn't regrow, they found that they get a better yield by getting a straight cut on their end product, not on the plant that's left in the ground.
Oh, sure.
So there's a little bit of that avenue of, hey, we didn't shatter the plant itself that we cut off, and we can use that extra inch to inch and a half.
The processing process, when they go to processing, they can use more of that plant, so they have less waste at the end of the day.
Exactly.
There's all those little things out there. So again, we spent so much time trying to get the soil fertility right, grow the crop, and then we need to take care of that crop at the other end too. So it's very important to have good equipment and the right